Oh wow, you actually clicked on this video. I still have some people watching this? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I know I have some catching up to do, so let's kick things off with my review of episode 9 of Power Rangers Dino Fury Cutoff. But before I start my review, I just want to let everybody know that I will be making an announcement about a Power Ranger related project at the end of this video, so be sure to stick around after I give the rating. This adorable filler, not so much mid-season premiere episode begins in the forests of Pine Ridge, where the Rangers are camping for the weekend. Ollie shows the Rangers all his very necessary camping tech that the other Rangers very much question. This inevitably leads to some harmless hijinks.
I wonder if it can go any faster.
At least for the viewer.
Turn it off!
I can't.
Dino!
After stalking the Rangers, a certain Shroom joins Void Knight in another part of the woods where Mustafa, this episode's chicken Sporks beast, re-explains the plan of the day to the wonderfully oblivious Mucus. They will launch a communication disruptor attached to a balloon which will cause the Rangers to lose all communications, including the ability to teleport. After this is explained, Mucus mistakenly lets go of the balloon, causing it to hit a tree, effectively seizing Void Knight's plan. Out collecting sticks, the Rangers overhear Void Knight's grumblings and decide to investigate. This leads to some of the Rangers' first interaction with Void Knight.
No one invited you, Rangers! Go back to your camp and roast some marshmallows!
We can't. I ate them all.
Void Knight quickly summons henchmen to do his dirty work. This leads to an interesting combo of original and Sentai fight footage, which accounts for a good chunk of this episode's action. As soon as we get a view of Void Knight in the fight, Mucus manages to set the balloon free, effectively beginning the villain's original plan. They teleport away, and the Rangers are left stranded with no ability to contact Solon or teleport. Amelia tries her phone to no avail, with Ollie pointing out that Void Knight would take advantage of the situation and scour the city for sporks. Zato decides that the only thing they could do is hike back to the city, but Ollie quickly stops him, explaining that he could possibly build a device that could pop the balloon down with parts left over from his electronic shoes. Zato isn't so keen on the unreliable idea and decides to just walk back with the others. Ollie stays back as the electric shoes that he's using for his device is the only pair he has. As soon as they leave, he realizes he could possibly use his electronic walking stick as an arrow. In the city, Jade shows Jayborg the joys of making a wish upon a piece of metal tossed into a fountain, which quickly takes a turn as a spork surfaces, scaring them into calling the Ranger hotline. Cute. To no avail. Mucus retrieves said sporks for Void Knight, who's kind of getting his gloves dirty.
I wish we had another way to call the Rangers hotline.
Look! Wishes do come true! Drat, it doesn't work either. Oh.
Was that supposed to poke fun at the fact that they could have used the coin for the payphone? If so, that's clever as hell. After we're shown that the Rangers are lost and find out that they went in a circle, they witness Ollie test out his hyper arrow. While failing to hit the balloon, the other Rangers quickly change their tune about his gadgets and apologize. Well, that was a rather quick turnaround. Ollie's fellow Rangers end up helping him find and create a quote medieval crossbow.
Okay, Hyper Arrow. Fly in that direction and take that down. He's pep talking the arrow?
He's questioning someone pep talking an inanimate object on an episode of Power Rangers. The arrow works, and Solon and the Rangers get into contact with each other, and the Rangers immediately teleport into the city where Void Knight is.
Let's search the sewers next!
Ooh, stinky!
Huh? Hey, Mustafa, why'd the chicken cross the road?
To get to the other side, duh!
Is that how that Earth joke goes?
Yep.
I thought jokes were supposed to be funny. Usually.
The Rangers morph and we get an awesome mix of Sentai and original footage, which leads to Mustafa growing. Red, blue, and pink form the Megazord, with green and black continuing to fight Void Knight. The usual back and forth comes to a head when Mustafa soars high above the Megazord to get a good aim and blast the Rangers. After Ollie shows concern over whether or not the Megazord could survive any more blasts, Zato decides to form the Dino Fury Megazord Fortress formation. Well, that's new. This uneventful intro works, helping the Rangers avoid the blasts. On the ground, nearly beaten Javi and Izzy use boost sleeves to blind Void Knight and beat him to the ground, but it isn't enough, with Void Knight retreating with his stolen sporks. Green and Black then join the fight, eventually forming the warrior formation to defeat Rustafa. Ollie then retrieves his sporks before Mucus. In the dreary Area 62, while loading his new sporks into his machine, Void Knight ominously alludes to his next plan that the Rangers will never see coming. The episode ends with Izzy testing one of Ollie's new gadgets, which of course goes wrong, but this time with no serious consequences. As I said earlier, Cutoff is a harmlessly cute filler episode with some good action and an interesting premise. The lesson was a bit confusing. I'm assuming it was to trust your friends and their abilities, not to be judgmental? Regardless, Ollie was still the least likable Ranger by the end. While a new Megazord formation was welcome, its lack of explanation wasn't. Besides the few fumbles, I can't say I didn't find this entertaining. The 4 out of 5 episode rating streak ends, as I rate this episode a 3 out of 5. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I don't know if you could tell, but I had some audio issues. I may or may not have forgotten to turn the microphone on while recording the actual visual footage. But as always, be sure to comment below your thoughts on this episode. As you could tell by my review, I pretty much am indifferent to it. It did have some positives, but at the end of the day, it was a filler episode. As always, be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this review, as well as the subscribe button and notification bell to be notified when I post my review for episode 10 of Power Rangers Dino Fury, Phoning Home. And of course, there's that announcement that I alluded to in the beginning of this video. It's a little Power Ranger related project I've been working on to give some content to the Ranger Nation who's been supporting me on my YouTube channel. This project will exclusively be put on my Instagram page, at blackandblue572. Over the pandemic, I've been getting back into some of my old hobbies that I had as a kid, one of them being drawing. So every week on my Instagram, I will be posting my artistic interpretation of one of the countless villainesses in Power Ranger history. Why female villains and not male villains? Well, I simply find their designs a bit more interesting, because besides just being outfitted for battle, of course they were put into skimpy outfits, which I find to be more entertaining and artistically interesting to look at. So we're kicking things off with the Space Witch herself, Rita Repulsa. This project won't only include main villains, but also include some of their female generals as well. So here's your sneak peek at the next villainess I will be posting in the near future. You could pretty much predict who I will be posting next, but again, be sure to check out my Instagram at blackandblue572 to check it out. And of course, you could follow me as well on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at blackandblue572. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!